Entitled mother tried to get her daughter my job because I'm chubby. This happened today, so I thought I'd share. I'm a female and home from college. The stay-at-home order in my town is slowly being lifted, so some businesses are finally opening up. My parents require me to have a summer job. I'm blessed enough that I get to keep all the money I earn. My parents, just like me, to work to gain experience. This will be relevant later, but I'm not a skinny girl. I wouldn't consider myself large either. I'm 5'6" and weigh all about 140 to 145 pounds right now, and carry most of it in my hips and thighs. The freshman 15 did hit me hard though, as I used to be 120-ish. So today, after finishing my last online final, my dad called me. He told me that one of his friends who runs a heating/AC company texted him that they were looking for girls to work in the office, answering phones and stuff. I got excited because that's exactly what I wanted, so I put on a dress, printed a copy of my resume and drove down. The ladies inside were super nice and asked me to fill out an application, so I sat down to do so. And this is where the entitled mother enters. We're in the South, which might be relevant because typically for jobs like this they're looking for a pretty face to sit behind the counter and talk to customers. This is unspoken though. Yes, it's awful, but hey, I needed a job. So as I'm filling out an application, the entitled mother enters with her kid. She announces that she's here about the opening and her daughter would like to apply. Desk Lady 1 explains that she'll need to fill out an application and hands her one and a pen. They come sit in the lobby right beside me, which I thought was weird, but I didn't say anything. Are you here for the job as well? Yes, ma'am. You know that little cocky sound people make? I ignored her and went up to ask Desk Lady 1 a question about the application. It was about how professional one of my references for babysitting was. When I returned and sat back down, the entitled mother walked up to the desk. Does my daughter even really need to fill this out? It's protocol. The boss will look at the applications and decide who to call for an interview. Is he here? I'm sure if he could see my daughter, he'd know who we want to call. He is, but he isn't seeing visitors right now. How will he know who to hire if he doesn't know what the girls look like? Well, he will need to see their references and will make a few calls before he... No, my daughter is an aspiring model. She won the local pageant in 2019. He needs to see her to know she's the face he wants to see behind the counter interacting with customers. I'm not sure what you mean that this isn't a modeling job. Looks don't really matter. Oh, I know, but they do. And let's face it, the boss isn't going to want... At this point, she leans in closer to the desk lady. A chubby girl up here, is he? This whole time, the entitled girl is smirking at me and glances as she fills out her application. This caught the attention of Desk Lady 2, as well as me, and we both looked up at this point. Ma'am, I'm not sure I know what you mean. Oh, no disrespect. I just know the boss personally and know he'd prefer a new pretty face around the office. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I think there's no question between my daughter and, well, this young lady, for example. Which was me. No offense, honey, just trying to save you some time. At this point, I'm in tears. I don't know if it was rage or the sting of her insult, but either way, I was not going to let her see me cry. So I quickly got up and handed my application to Desk Lady 1 before trying to leave. Desk Lady 2, a plus-size woman. Sweetie, wait. Now, you say you know the boss personally, right? Oh yes, we went to high school together. And you know him so well that you know he'd prefer a skinny woman behind this desk? Well, I didn't say that. She did, but I'd assume so. Great, well, I'm his wife, and I've worked behind this desk for almost 15 years now, and as you can see, I could probably drop a few. And I take personal offense to what you're saying about my husband and this young lady, so I'd like you to wait in the car while your daughter fills out her application. The entitled mother and kid both stormed out at this point. The entitled kid took her application, so I don't know if she'll apply or not, but both women behind the counter told me that she was nonsense, and they'd vouch for me with the boss. So I'm hopeful that I got the job. I love that. Entitled mother calls the cop when I wouldn't give any steak to her son. This happened maybe about a year ago, before the whole pandemic started. The weather had been nice, and I just got him some sirloin steaks. I haven't used my grill since the previous year, so I decided now would be a good time to try it out. For a few days, a group of construction workers had been busy working on a new house. It's built now and it's pretty nice, way too expensive for me though, but it had been hot and or rainy almost the entire duration of the build, and they were working themselves off on the whole way through. So I decided to be nice, and after going over to the site, I yelled for them to come get some free food when they went on break. They were incredibly grateful. There were about 5 workers present, and 4 of them showed up for steak while the other passed. I had enough for everyone, including one for me, and we had a nice time chatting and getting to know one another. One was a veteran of the Marines back in the early 80s, he's friends with my grandma now, and one was even related to the sheriff of our county. Anyway, amid the conversation, we heard an "excuse me" from the other side of the fence. My neighbor is this middle-aged woman with a super freaky son. He kinda lived off his mother's paycheck every week while living on a couch. He was also in his mid-30s. There she was, on the other side of the fence. "My son was wondering if he can get some steak too." "Sorry, I don't have any left." "But you have enough for all of them." "Yeah, I do. If he wanted some, he should've came earlier." "No, you should have bought enough for everyone." "Look, lady, this guy was nice enough to cook Don't you have work you should be doing?" "We're on lunch, ma'am." She soon left, in a huff, but not before shouting that she was gonna call the police. I was the only one who heard that, I think, so I asked a relative of the sheriff if there was really anything the police would arrest me for. Of course, he said no. In his words, there were no laws against not sharing. I asked if we should tell her that, and he again said no. Again in his words, it would be the most fun they've had on the job ever since they started building that damn house. No, I actually did have an extra steak. I was just saving it for later. Sure enough, after the construction workers went back to the site, who's to show up but a police officer? No lights, so it's a non-emergency, but he parked right outside the entitled mother's house. Both her and the kid walked out and greeted the policeman. I walked out on my own lawn, and the entitled mother pointed straight at me. I can't quite remember everything said here, but she was accusing me of discrimination because I left a 30-ish year little old boy out of our little steak party. I swear it was like kindergarten lunch. The policeman obviously shook it off and warned her to not get the police involved, something so ridiculous again, and started to leave, but I said, "Wait, officer, are you hungry?" "Well, I haven't had lunch yet. Why?" "May I offer you a steak?" "I knew it! You do have more steak! I demand you give it to my son, now!" "And I demand you both go back into your house before I arrest you for disturbing the peace and possibly harassment." But you can't do that. He can't do that. Tell him, kid." I just wanted some steak." "Officer, you have to do something about this. This man is performing a hate crime on my son." We both actually laughed. The policeman said something along the lines of "have a good day," and I led him into my backyard. I had to give him the steak raw since he had to go back on his patrol, but we had a good laugh. The entire mother and kid finally went back into their house, and every time that I see them nowadays, she scowls at me while the kid just pays no attention. I occasionally see that same officer from time to time, and every time I see him, he asks the same thing. "Did you remember to share today?" "Get me your supervisor now." "Me? Ma'am, I am the supervisor." So for some background information, I work in a retail chain and live in the UK, where it is the law that if the person in question looks under 25, then you have to ask for ID for items such as lighters, knives, etc. It is also law that if the person in question cannot provide ID, then you have the obligation to decline the sale. Even if they are with someone who can produce ID and vouch for them, you still have to decline the sale because the person wishing to buy the item cannot produce identification. I hope this makes sense. So, to the story. On this particular day, I was standing at my till waiting for any customers. Enter the entitled mother and daughter. Entitled mother put all her shopping onto the till and I began scanning. She was pleasant enough and her transaction went by smoothly. Having paid for her items, the daughter proceeded to put her items on the till. She had a dog toy and spray paint. Now in the UK, you have to be 18 to purchase spray paint. Don't ask me why, because I have no clue. So I scanned through the spray paint and the computer screen turned to red. It informed me that I needed to make sure that the person in question was of age to purchase this. The daughter looked young and I reckoned she was 18, but because she looked under 25, I still had to ask for her proof of age. Also, the CCTV is watched over when it comes to items being purchased with age restrictions. Someone is paid to watch over these sales to make sure that I am following procedure and I'm not letting anyone underage purchase such items. If I am found to have sold such items to a minor, I could be looking at being fired and criminal prosecution. With this in mind, I said the following. Sorry ma'am, this item is age restricted. Do you have any proof of age on you? The daughter looks a bit startled, but looks through her purse and doesn't find anything. I don't have ID on me. I must have left it at home. I am 18 though. Sorry ma'am, I can't authorize the sale without ID. If you bring ID with you next time, I'd be more than happy to authorize the sale. The daughter shrugged and sighed. Oh well, I'll come back another time. I'll just take the dog toy then. I was about to scan the dog toy through when the entitled mother enters the conversation. You seriously need ID for spray paint? Yeah, it's the law. You have to be 18. But my daughter is 18. She may be 18, but I still have to ask her for ID because she looks under 25. But she is turning 19 in a week. Again, ma'am, that may be the case, but without ID, I cannot authorize a sale. That is ridiculous. Sorry, ma'am. It's the law. Stop, Mum. It's okay. I can come back tomorrow. We are not coming back tomorrow. At this point, suddenly the entitled mother comes up with a genius solution to buy the spray paint and bypass the law. I'll buy the paint for her. I'm over 25. That means I am lawfully allowed to buy it. Unfortunately, you can't because I know you'll be buying it for her, and if I authorize that, it is still illegal. That is nonsense. I want to buy spray paint. Sorry, ma'am, I can't authorize you buying the paint because I know you're buying it for your daughter. You don't know that I'm buying it for my daughter. Yes, ma'am, I do, because you literally said 5 seconds ago you would buy it for her. So you are now lying to a customer? The daughter tries to drag the entitled mother away. Mum, leave it. Ma'am, I'm not lying to you. I am telling you what you said and what the rules are. Well, I am going to go to the other cashier and buy it there. That is fine, ma'am. You can try that, but they will give you the same answer I'm giving you because I have to notify them of any customer trying to slip by the rules. The entitled mother, red in the face, managed to slip past her daughter and get right up in my face, press a finger into my chest and scream, "Get me your supervisor now! I'm going to report you for lying!" As she finished screaming, I wiped her spit off my face, calmly pointed to my name badge and smiled, and in my best retail voice I said, "Hi, I'm the supervisor of this establishment. I hear you wish to make a complaint about one of our staff. How may I help you?" Her face went from red to purple in a second. I genuinely thought she was about to hit me when her daughter stepped in. How much is it? For the dog toy alone, that would be $3.99. The daughter paid me $5 and told me to keep the change. I smiled and in my retail voice said, "Thank you for shopping with us today. We hope to see you again soon. Have a great day." I hate you. And with that, she was forcibly let out by her daughter. The next day, guess who comes in? The daughter alone with their ID. You see, you should have just waited. Well guys, that seems to be the end of another episode of r/entitled parents. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated if you could do so, and maybe even share this video to one of your friends or family members. That'd be greatly appreciated as well. Before you leave though, I just want to say I do have a couple links down below in the description if you want to check them out. I got my social media like my Twitter and my Instagram if you want to follow me over there to keep updated on my next post and my next uploads. Be greatly appreciated. I also have some merch. It'll be the first link down below in the description if you want to get some cool designs on shirts, hats, hoodies, custom stickers, and even some custom face masks. You know, stay protected. It'll be the first link down below in the description if you want to consider buying some. And lastly, I do have a Patreon, so big thank you to all my current Patreon supporters. The names are on the screen. If you want to see what rewards you can get as well as your name on the screen, you can do so by clicking the link in the description or on the screen. I don't expect you to support me. It's just there if you want to help me make better quality videos. Now, I haven't made one of these videos in a while, but if you did enjoy it, please tell me down below in the comments and I'll make more. For that said, thank you for watching and I'll see you guys later.